There are moments in life where the most powerful move you can make is to simply do nothing at all. You know that specific, heavy feeling in the air right before a thunderstorm breaks, or that sudden hush that falls over a room when the energy shifts without warning. As a Leo, you are used to being the one who breaks the silence. You are the sign of courage, of action, and of bold visibility. But on January 24th, 2026, the universe is asking you to lean into a different kind of strength, the strength of restraint. This is a day where your awareness matters infinitely more than your action, and where the small signals you might usually brush aside could hold the key to your long-term security. We are navigating a year that is arguably one of the most important chapters of your life. But even the greatest stories have moments where the hero must stop and listen. This warning isn't about something to fear. It's about making sure that the bright future you are building isn't tripped up by a moment of impulsivity or an ego-driven choice. When we look at the structural energy of January 24th, 2026, it feels like walking across a high-tension wire. If you move with mindfulness and precision, you will reach the other side successfully. However, if you try to rush because you're bored or because you feel you have something to prove, the vibrations of the day might throw you off balance. For a Leo, the hardest thing is often waiting for the right moment. Your internal fire wants results yesterday. But on the 24th, there is a specific planetary tension that can create a kind of mental fog. You might feel a sudden urge to make a big decision, perhaps a career pivot, a major purchase, or a confrontation in a relationship. But this is precisely what you need to avoid. On this day, things are rarely what they seem at first glance. There is small print in the universe on the 24th, and if you don't slow down to read it, you may end up paying for it well into the next month. The first layer of this warning involves the role of the ego. As a sign ruled by the sun, you carry a natural authority, but on January 24th, that authority might be challenged in a way that feels personal. You might encounter someone who is dismissive, a situation where you feel unappreciated, or a minor setback that hits your pride harder than it should. The warning here is clear. Do not take the bait. The tension of the day is designed to poke at your insecurities to see how you will respond. If you react from a place of, "I'll show them," or "How dare they," you are handing over your power to a temporary circumstance. On January 24th, the one who stays calm and observes the room is the one who ultimately wins the power play. You are being asked to show a level of emotional maturity that proves you are ready for the leadership roles that 2026 is trying to offer you. Think of this as a test of your internal character rather than an external obstacle. Another area that demands extreme caution is your communication style. Leo energy is naturally direct and warm, but on this particular Saturday in late January, the lines of communication are frayed. There is a high probability for words to be taken out of context. A joke you make in passing could be perceived as a slight, or an honest piece of feedback could be viewed as an attack. If you find yourself in a heated discussion, or if a simple conversation starts to turn sour, the best move you can make is to stop talking. Silence is your greatest protection on the 24th. In fact, if you can delay any sensitive conversations until the 26th or 27th, you will find that the air has cleared and the logic has returned. On this day, speaking less allows you to listen more, and what you hear in the silences will reveal exactly who is on your side and who is merely playing a part. In the professional realm, the warning for January 24th, 2026 centers around details and technicalities. If you are working on something over this weekend, double-check your facts. If a new opportunity arrives that sounds too good to be true, it likely is. This isn't to say you shouldn't be excited about your growth, but this specific day has an energy of glamour where things look shinier than they actually are. Avoid signing legal documents, or committing to long-term financial agreements on this Saturday. Your perspective is slightly tilted right now, and what looks like a win might actually have hidden costs that aren't visible until the sun sets on this transit. Your reputation is one of your most valuable assets, and on this day, being thorough is the only way to protect it. Let others rush into things if they must. Your power lies in your ability to wait for clarity. Socially, you might find that the energy of January 24th feels a bit draining. People may be projecting their own frustrations and anxieties onto you because you seem like someone who can handle it. There is a warning here about emotional leaks. If you are not careful, you might spend your entire day putting out fires that aren't yours, or listening to problems that don't belong to you. This is a day to set firm boundaries. It is okay to say no to an invitation. It is okay to not answer that text message right away. For a sign that thrives on connection, withdrawing can sometimes feel like a failure, but on the 24th, it is a survival tactic. You need your energy for your own projects and your own peace of mind. If you feel a pull in your gut to stay home or to stay quiet, listen to it. Your intuition is shouting much louder than your logic during these 24 hours. Your physical and mental energy levels may also experience a dip. The pressure of 2026 has been building, and on January 24th, the weight of all those important year expectations might catch up with you. If you feel a sudden wave of fatigue or a bout of self-doubt, don't overanalyze it. It is just the planetary weather passing through. The warning here is to avoid the Leo trap of performative productivity. You don't need to prove your worth by burning yourself out. In fact, ignoring your body's signals for rest on this day could lead to a longer period of exhaustion later on. Use the 24th to ground yourself. Drink more water, step away from screens, and reconnect with your physical surroundings. Your crown doesn't have to be on straight every single second of the day. Let's talk about the specific inner monologue you might experience on January 24th. Because of the way the light is hitting your internal landscape, you might start noticing all the things that are wrong with your life or your progress. You might look at your career, your finances, or your appearance and find flaws that you weren't focused on before. This is the shadow side of the day's awareness. The warning is to realize that this hypercriticism is an illusion. You are in a sensitive state where your self-worth feels tied to external results. Remind yourself that January 24th is a temporary window, not a final judgment on your life. If you feel like an imposter, or if you feel like you aren't doing enough, that is simply the tension of the transit speaking. The reality is that you are right on schedule. Don't let a one-day mood ruin a year-long mission. One of the more subtle aspects of this warning involves inherited pressure. This could be family expectations or cultural standards that you feel you aren't meeting. On January 24th, these external voices can sound very loud in your head. You might feel a sudden rush to fix your life based on someone else's timeline. But remember, the goal for 2026 is your authenticity, not your conformity. If someone tries to shame you into a decision, or if you feel you have to act because of a should, that is a signal to stop immediately. Action taken out of guilt or fear on the 24th will only lead to resentment. You are the architect of your own timeline. If a decision isn't ready, then it isn't ready. Trust that your inner timing is more accurate than any external deadline being forced upon you. If you have a major event scheduled for January 24th, 2026, my advice is to approach it with zero expectations. Plan for delays, prepare for minor misunderstandings, and keep your sense of humor close at hand. The jagged energy of this day loves to mess with the best laid plans. If you go into it expecting perfection, you will be frustrated. If you go into it as a flexible observer, you will navigate it with ease. The gift hidden within this warning is that by lowering your expectations of the outside world, you raise the quality of your inner peace. This is the year you become unshakable. And that starts by learning how to handle a day like the 24th without letting it derail your spirit. We must also consider the role of secrets and hidden information on this day. The energetic climate is ripe for slips of the tongue. You might accidentally share something you shouldn't, or someone might entrust you with a piece of information that feels heavy to carry. The warning for January 24th is to guard your private world. Not everything needs to be shared on social media, and not every thought needs to be voiced in the moment. Privacy is a form of protection. Keeping some of your plans to yourself during these 24 hours will give them the time they need to mature. Sometimes when we speak about a dream too early, we lose the energy to manifest it. Let January 24th be a day of internal incubation. If you are a Leo in a committed partnership, January 24th is a day to practice immense patience. Your partner may be feeling the same restrictive energy you are, but they might be handling it by lashing out or becoming distant. If you push for clarity or demand to know what's wrong on this day, you will likely meet resistance. Instead, offer them the space that you also need for yourself. A small gesture of kindness without the need for a conversation can go a long way. The friction of the 24th doesn't mean your relationship is in trouble. It just means the weather is a bit rough, and you both need to stay inside the safety of your mutual trust until the sun comes back out. This is a time of incredible spiritual transition for you. As we look ahead at the rest of 2026, the person you are becoming is much more resilient than the person you were a year ago. That resilience is built on days like January 24th, the days where you choose your words carefully, where you honor your body's need for rest, and where you refuse to be pulled into a drama that doesn't serve you. Every time you heed the warning of a day like this, you are telling the universe that you are a person of discernment. You are showing that you no longer need the loud applause of the crowd, and that you are perfectly content to work in the quiet shadows when the light outside is too harsh. As the sun begins to set on January 24th, you might start to feel the tension lift. This is a crucial moment. Many people spend all day being careful, and then let their guard down at the last minute, only to fall into the very trap they were avoiding. Keep your awareness active until the day is fully done. Avoid late-night debates or impulsive online shopping sprees to vent the day's stress. Finish the day with a simple ritual, whether it is a bath, a good book, or simply reflecting on how well you held your ground. You survived the technical errors, the ego jabs, and the emotional drains. That is a victory worth recognizing. I know that hearing a warning can sometimes feel unsettling, especially for a Leo who just wants to run toward the goal line. But remember that a king or a queen doesn't just act, they rule with wisdom. And wisdom means knowing when to stay in the castle and when to lead the charge. January 24th is a day to stay in the castle. Secure your perimeter, check on your people, and make sure your internal foundations are strong. The world will still be there tomorrow, and the opportunities of 2026 are not going anywhere. In fact, by taking this day to be aware rather than active, you are ensuring that when you do move forward, you do so from a place of absolute strength. Your path as a Leo is a journey of constant self-discovery, and every date we talk about is just one step on a long and beautiful timeline. You have the fire, you have the heart, and now you are developing the patience that turns a star into a legend. Trust your process. Trust that your awareness on this difficult day is your secret weapon. If you found that this perspective gave you the grounding you needed to face the day with a calm heart, it is a sign that you are moving in perfect alignment with your higher self. We are going to keep monitoring these shifts and providing the insights you need to make 2026 your most legendary year yet. I would love to have you with us on every step of this journey as we explore what the future holds for you. If this warning and the guidance offered resonated with your reality and helped you see things more clearly, then consider staying connected. This channel is dedicated to you, your path, and the incredible growth you are undergoing. We value your voice and your participation in this community. Please show your support for this message by liking it and sharing it with other Leos who might be feeling the pressure and could use a reminder to slow down and stay alert. To stay ahead of the changes and ensure you never miss these vital updates as they happen, please subscribe to Leo Timeline.